I just kind of want to go back to like trades in general, because I think like just being around it so much, you have a lot of insight to that. So I was wondering like, what trades are like the hottest right now, or like the most needed? Would you say?
Right now, all of them. I would say there isn't a trade that you could get into that wouldn't be a lucrative
Can't go wrong.
option. You pretty much can't go wrong now because so many people don't want to do the work anymore.
Yeah.
And especially young switched on people, like people who are probably forced down a different path due to kind of being on, having a good intellectual side.
Yeah.
And, they kind of get pushed a certain way where, if they were to go into a trade, they would really excel. But, I mean, there's definitely a strong shortage. You couldn't go wrong with any trade.
Yeah. Do you think that like social stigma prevents people going for that a lot?
100%.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a disservice to a lot of kids, You go through school and a lot of kids get put in a box, like you have to do this, this, and this. You have to go to this college and do this and get that done. And, for some people that is the right path. But then there's other people like me. My whole life I went through school being told I need to be put on Adderall and that I need to start doing things different and need to get this together and this and that, when in reality I just have a lot of energy. I need to be out doing work or, just making something, creating something.
I would say like you finding that path put you like it's way better for you, and I would say like a lot of those people that took that advice that you didn't take, you're now way ahead of them because
right.
you're doing what you want to do.
And I'm playing to my personal strengths where I excel as an individual. Where I excel as an individual isn't taking tests in a college classroom. It's being out in the field, meeting people, talking people, problem solving, and actually kind of creating something physical with your hands and doing that kind of thing.
I know that you said like you can't really go wrong, but if you were to say like top 3 paths to make bank going into trades right now, what would you advise people on? Like what do you think it would be?
Top 3 trades.
Like top 3 like training paths, trades, like just make bank now.
Make bank now. I definitely would not say welding.
Really?
I wouldn't say welding because there is the opportunity to make really decent money welding, but the money to sacrifice ratio is, in my opinion, not worth it.
Okay.
You can do something like union electricians or even residential electricians. They're making very good money, and most of them, other than the linesmen and people who do power transmission, but like the actual commercial electricians and residential electricians, they get to go home every night. It's clean work. It's a lot easier on your body than a lot of the other trades. You're not lifting heavy. You're not welding and inhaling fumes and grinding and making dust, or cutting with a saw. And for framing like carpentry, you're inhaling all that sawdust. With electrical, you don't really have that, and so it's cleaner. It commands a very decent wage, and a lot of the time you get to go home every night, which is very nice.
Yeah.
I'd say plumbing would definitely be another option. Similar, can be kind of crappy at times, but it's definitely one of the more lucrative now because so many people are opposed to getting into it with kind of the nature of the work, what you do have to deal with. As long as you're not squeamish, it's definitely probably a good option, and I would say maybe even the best option currently. I know some plumbers out there who, they picked up the trade, did an apprenticeship, now they're running their own show, and they are making some good money.
Yeah, that makes sense. Any other ones that come to mind?
I would say those are definitely the top 2 right now.
Yeah.
All the other ones kind of, it can fluctuate a lot, because welding, it could pay a lot, it could also pay very little. Same with carpentry, there's guys who go out framing, they make really good money, but then there's also guys who get into the wrong kind of side of it and don't make a whole lot. So
yeah, more variability.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely more variables involved in those ones as opposed to the established plumbers and electricians who all seem to be doing fairly solid.
Yeah, and I like what you said about just being close to home, because those are both ones that you can absolutely make a killing just doing residential.
Exactly.
Just being in the neighborhood.
Yep. Being, you could be doing your neighbor's house and making a killing, as opposed to having to travel to a different state to weld something, know?
Yeah.
So.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So what do you like about working trades the most?
Ooh, there's a lot to like, but also a lot to dislike. But my favorite things would definitely just be like the job satisfaction of actually being able to step back at the end of a job, look at what you've built or what you've just maintained, and and really look at it and be like, holy crap, that was there was nothing there before, and now there's this.
Yeah.
You get to stand back and look at it. And I'd say that's probably my favorite part is, all the hard work, it really pays off when you get to stand back and look at a physical object that will stand the test of time and be there that, you built.
Yeah.
And so I'd say that's
sweet.
my favorite part. And also the people. There's such a wide variety of characters that just make the job so enjoyable.
Yeah.
The different people you meet, you got every walk of life. There is definitely no bounds to who you're going to meet. It could be anything. Could be
Yeah.
anybody.